So today, what we are going to see is Git and GitHub. So I know that somehow across this word Git and GitHub quite commonly now. So anyone know what is Git and GitHub, or you have any idea how this works, or you have any experience working on this technology? Huh?
So this is for low. Storing down.
Git what? Can you repeat that again?
Git and GitHub are version control thing now. So Git is for local repository. So in our device for maintaining different versions for our projects or softwares, and GitHub is for hosting something online where we can share our projects to others, and then same thing, same version control goes there too.
Yeah, you came by nearly. So what is Git? So Git, so if anyone asks what is Git, most of the answers will be it's a version control system. So what is a version control system means is, so consider you're making an app. So now we have published version 1 of the app in the market. So you are fixing some changes in the same code without taking a backup or any copy of it. So now we are publishing version 2. So there is some error in the version 2 published on your app. So now you don't have your backup of version perfectly working version 1. So you will be in a midway where you will not be able to go back or go forward. So version control solves this problem. So like you can record your history of changes that you are making in your code base, and once you are publishing a version, you can still access the previous version which you have released. So this solves that particular problem of losing that past changes in the code. So Git is a technology that offers this service. For example, you can take. So next, I will come with an example. So next, what is GitHub? So GitHub is like a platform which provides the place for the technology to work on. So one example will be good to remember, like remember email. So email is, you consider email as a technology, and the various platforms which offers you to write email are like Outlook, Yahoo, Gmail. So they are called as platforms. So the technology is email. The same appears here. So the technology is Git, but the platforms which is using Git are GitHub. So there are some others. For example, you can consider Bitbucket and GitLab. So and so on. So there are many more, but these three are common and famous platforms for using Git. So next, we'll move with Git. So anyone have any queries related to Git and GitHub? So basically, Git is a technology which powers GitHub. So GitHub uses the technology of Git. So it stores in the form of repository. So repository is like a central base to track your code changes. So you can copy it in your local base, and you can keep changing the code base in your local, and you can, once you have completed your changing or adding new features, you can push it to the remote repository that is available on GitHub. And GitHub also provides a feature to share your code. So you can share it to anyone who you want to share your code with. So consider you are working on a project, so there will be team members related with that. So you can, so all the 4 can work on a particular repository. So you can also track the changes, who made this change in this line of code. So I will show that later. So in order to install Git, you can use the command line version. So there is a GUI version also available. So why I prefer command line is, so it gives you more control over the GUI. So rather than some user interface, you can work on command line. So also it will give you a good experience working on command line. So it is available in all operating systems, Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. If you are using Linux, I think Git is pre-installed with your kernel. So if you're using Windows, you can download the exe file of the Git bash, and you can use it in Windows. Mac OS, so you can download it from here. So if anyone want to concurrently work with me or practice what I'm doing now, so you can start installing it now. So if you want, I can give you 5 minutes for installation. If you're not interested, then I can proceed forward with the demo. So I will share the link to download the Git in the chat section. You can download for your operating system. So next, I'm not having any slides to show what are the operands, so I will show it in real time. So consider the left is my terminal and the right side is the folder. So I will just teach you some basics that you know to operate in remote repository. So first I will look onto the local one. So for example, there is no folder present in this particular considered as a folder. So now I'm creating a folder association. So the folder is present. Inside association, there will be empty files because I have created the folder now. So I will go into this folder. So to initialize an empty repository in a local machine, there's a keyword called git init. So by doing this keyword, it initializes it initializes Git in that particular folder. You can see like so there will be a .git file. So there will be some files in the .git file, so which we will cover later. So now this particular folder is initialized with Git. So now what we can do is we can create a text file here. Let's name it as a demo.txt. So now for checking the status of your Git repository, you can use a keyword called git status. So it replies you back with what are all the unstaged changes that are available in that particular repository. So untracked means so you have not tracked that particular change. So now we have added a text file called demo.txt after initializing the Git repository. So we didn't push that change to the repository. So it is saying as untracked files. So you should need to look into that files. To add this to the repository, there is a keyword called git add demo.txt. So this adds your file like consider there is a stage. So there will be many persons sitting downways. So consider it as your files. So if you need to take photo for that particular in stage, so the persons need to come to that stage. So likewise, you are placing the demo.txt in that stage to push to that particular repository. So now you check using git status. So you can check here. So it is ready to committed. So what does a commit means? The capturing of the particular photo is known as commit. So it just simply push your changes to that repository. So now if I give git commit -m, so -m is referred to as message. So if you are taking a snapshot of a particular photo, so you will give a caption, right? So this like you consider it as a wedding. So that Mr. Ram's family, Kumar's family. So likewise, what changes you have done in this particular repository, you will give it as a message. So what changes I have done is I have added a file. So now the changes has been pushed remotely. So now if you check the status of your repository, so you will not find, so everything is clean. So the working tree is clean. So there is nothing to commit. So now we'll add some or we alter some text in the demo.txt file. So now I'm opening that file and I'm inserting a particular text called I have edited this file after commit. So now I have typed one line in that particular file. Now I have saved that file. So now we can check the status by using git status. So now it replaces that. So the demo.txt file is modified. So there is a change you have to take a look at. So it is what is telling that it is not staged for a commit. So commit in the sense you are ready to take the picture. So likewise, so they are ready to come to the stage. So these are the steps. So they are ready to come to the stage. You add them to the stage. You take a snapshot of them. So these are the three processes. So git add, git commit. So Those two are the two commands used to add the files to the repo and commit this change. So now I have made a change in the demo.txt file. So now I will add that file. So you can use dot to add all the changes in the files. So if you want to add only one particular file, you can specify the name here, demo.txt. Or if there are more than one file is present in that particular folder, you can use dot. So it normally brings all the ready persons in the stage to be ready for taking a snapshot. So now we'll commit by saying altered demo. So you can track the changes by using git log. So it will show you who changed and with also the date time. So at this particular day, this particular time, this person has changed this feature in that particular code. So you can see here altered demo and added a file. So these are the commit messages I have given at the time of committing the particular change to that particular repository. So you can so this is given to get to know the more understanding of what the commit you have made. So basically it represents like one-liner for the commit you have made. So this is like the basic operations that you will work with in the local repository. So one more concept I would like to address here is branching. So why branching is important in the sense, so normally when you clone a repository from an organization, it will be in a main repository. For example, you can consider here, so this is an repository from FOSS CIT, so it is master or main, so now they have changed it to main. So this particular branch will contain all the files. So there will be not only you will be working on this particular project, so there will be more persons. So consider 20 or 30 will be working on same code base, adding different features. So you should not change the master branch, because if you change with any fixes or bugs, so the persons who are using this, so other persons other than you who are using this particular code will get affected by the changes what you have made. To avoid that sort of error, you can use branch. So branch in the sense like, so consider here this is a main. So before going to that main, I like to address here. So you can see here in that bracket it is saying as master branch. So for example, if I want to create a new branch for that, so there is a keyword, so there is a command called git branch and the name of your branch what you want to. So I'm giving it as new. So now the new branch has been created. So now I need to move to that new branch. So there is again a particular command for that. So git checkout to that particular branch. Okay. So git checkout to new. So now you have see the change here. So before that particular command, the head is pointing to master. So after moving to the new branch, so now the head is pointing to new. So it's like you are creating another pointer for that particular repository. So what are the changes you are doing in this new branch will not affect the master branch. So now I'll show it visually. So the site is called as Learn Git Branching. So it is a very good site to understand Git branching. So initially consider the head is pointing to main. So now I'm just committing. So now you can check here from this commit C1, I have made a commit C2. So like this, it works. It works like a tree. So it keeps on adding one by one. So if I am creating a new branch called, so I will create it as new. So now you can see here a particular new has been created for that particular C2. So now what I'm doing is I'm checking out that particular new branch. So git checkout new. So now you can see that star has been assigned to new. So now we are in the new branch. So our head is pointing to new. So now what are all the changes you are doing will not affect the main branch. So it will affect the new branch. So now I'm making a commit on the branch. So you can see here the main will stay at that particular position C2. So now I have made a new commit. So that will reflect in the new branch. So it will not affect the main branch. So this is the main code base that everyone uses. So this is you are making a copy of it and you are editing your works on that particular code base. So you can make more than one commits for that particular code. So you can check that. So again, you have made a commit. So again, it will change the new branch. So consider at the same time the main branch. So some others will be using the same. So they will commit directly into the main branch. So for that, they will use a term called pull request. So I will come to that later. So consider now I'm checking out to main branch. So now I am committing. So you can see here, the commit from the main branch will not affect the new branch. So it will directly create a separate commit and it will assign the main pointer. So what you have been working will be here. So what others or the common for all will be present pointing towards the main. So this is the main advantage of using branch. So you should not affect the main branch of the particular repository or the project you're working for. So it will be a reference for many others who are working on that particular project. So once you are completed with your addition of new features to the particular project, so you can now ask the project maintainer. So if there is a project posted by an organization, so there will be some persons maintaining that project. So now what you should do is you should create a pull request regarding that. So I have completed my work in the new branch. So I would like to add my changes that are present in the new branch to the main branch. So that is called as pull request. So I'll show you. So now again I will check out to new branch. So you can see that the star has been shifted from main to new. So now just I'm creating another commit. So now we have seen that you have completed your features in the new branch. So only from the main branch you can able to merge all other branches, sub branches within that particular branch. So now I'm moving to main branch. So you can see the star from new will be moved to main. So now what I'm asked, so now new is currently creating a pull request to main to merge the changes in new to main. So if main is okay with all the changes that new produces, then main can, so the person who is maintaining the main branch can merge the changes. So git merge new. So you can see that after that particular commit, so your changes will be made and it will create a new change, and it will point the main branch to that particular position. So this is how the branching works. So anyone have any queries? So the main use of branch is to avoid conflicts that will happen in the main branch. So whenever you are contributing to a project, so you just so I will come to that next. So this is the basics for branching. So you can check this website if you need to get some good clarity on how branching works. So now consider there is an organization. So I'm just taking the FOSS Club of college. So I have just created a repository there. So I have named it as Git and Github depot. So for showing you. So whenever, so likewise, there will be many organizations posting some projects in their repo. So I would like to address some tabs here. So the code part here will contain all the code bases for the particular project you're working on. So this, what issues addresses is like what are the current issues faced by the project. For example, you can, so if you're using this product and you find this might be improved, so you can raise an issue by stating that this feature can be improved in this particular section called issues. So next one is called as pull request. So what basically a pull request is, like as I have mentioned earlier, so like you will just clone the project and you will work on it. So once you have done with your changes, so you will push your changes to the main branch. So the process of making this to happen will happen via a pull request. So once the main project maintainer accepts a pull request, so your features will be added to the main branch of this particular project. So you can see here master branch. So this is the main branch of the particular repository. So whenever you're going to contribute or work on a particular project, so the first step what you should need to do is, so first, so on the top most right, so you can find an button called fork. So just click on it. So what this fork does is it creates a copy on your GitHub account. So the same copy will be created on your repository. So because you cannot directly push changes in the original repository, so first you should push the changes to your repository, and through your repository you should create pull requests to this original repository. So now I'll create a fork on my Git account. So now you can see a change here. So before it was FOSS CIT as Git and Github demo. So now it has been in my own repository, Poobalan 1210. So just give me some. So you can see all the changes here. So what are all the files available in that particular FOSS CIT repository will be available to me now. So after forking, so the next step what you should do is you should click code and you should fork this particular project to work on your local machine. So you should copy this link and you should go to your terminal if you are working with Linux. If you are, so now we'll come out of this particular. So now I'm here. So the keyword used to clone the repository or the command is git clone and the link you have copied from here. So you will copy the link of this particular repository for cloning. So you will add a keyword called git clone this particular repository. If you click enter, you can see here the local copy of the particular repository will be available in your local machine. So if you go inside that, you can see there is a README file. So like here only one README file is present. So this project is now copied into your local machine for you to put your changes and push the code to your repository. So once copying the particular or cloning the particular repository, so now you'll move into that particular repository, right? So now I'm into the particular repository. You can see here, currently the head is pointing to master branch. So initially we should not make changes in master branch. So at start, I'm creating a new branch for this particular project. So git branch new. So it need not. So the branch name depends on you. You can set whatever you want. So I'm just giving new here. So now the new branch is created. So I'm just making my head to point to new branch. So git checkout new. So now you can see here the head is point. So before this command, the head is pointing to master branch. So now the head is pointing to a new branch. So now you can list all the files inside that particular folder. So there's a README file. I'll open that README file. Sorry, it's readme.md. So you can see here the README file contains 3 lines in a markdown language. So these 3 lines will be available on the particular README. So now what we'll do is we'll add some 4th line stating that created a new branch and made the changes there. So I have added a new line to this particular README file. So now I will save this file locally. So I have changed that particular file. So now you can check the status of your status by using git status. So it is stating that the README file is modified and you should take care of that particular file. So now we have added a line in that particular README. So what I should do now is, so the file is ready to be present on the particular stage. So I am adding that particular file to the stage. So git add readme.md. So now the particular file is present in the stage. So now what you should do is you should take a snapshot of that particular file. So that basically means you are creating a commit. So you have completed your change. So now I should push the change to my local repository, which is available on your name on your local GitHub account. So the changes you are pushing here will appear here in this particular repository. So now I'm pushing the changes. So git commit. So you should commit with the message. So so that will be a good practice to follow. So now what I have done is I have added the 4th line. So now I have committed. So if you check the status here, so there will be no one present on the stage because we have taken the snapshot and we have sent them to the particular local repo. So this is just the thing I have showed you for local repository appears same for the project when you're cloning from a particular repository and working on. So now what you should do is you should push the changes that you have done here to your local repository here. So for that, what you should do is git. So there's a command called git push version. So what version here is like, so it is a URL for that. Wait, I'll show you. So you can check here, like, so it's a link for the GitHub account where you cloned that particular project from. So the link, so this particular link will be present as a version. So there is another term called as upstream. So what upstream is refers to is, so it refers to the original repository from where you have forked your code. So in this case, the upstream will be for FOSS CIT's Git and Github demo. So I have cloned this from my local repository, so the upstream is not present here. If you need to add upstream, you can add it manually by there's a command called git add upstream, and you can paste the link, so it will add the upstream here. So now I'm pushing my changes to origin, so which is my local Git repository. So git push origin. So next you should mention which branch I should push. So here I'm using the new branch, so I'm pushing the new branch here. So git push origin, my new branch. So at first it will ask for your so you can configure it. So just sorry for the trouble. So once you give your password, so the changes will reflect back to your local repository. So you can see here. So it's just a bit of a problem while setting the two-factor authentication. So you can see here, it adds the changes to a remote repository present in that particular link. So the new branch. So I'll show you in this website. So you can see here. So new has add recent push. So there's a button called compare and pull request. So now you have changed or you have added a new feature for this particular request. So when you give this compare and pull request button, what it will do is speaking right. Okay. So it will just create a pull request to that remote repository. So that is FOSS CIT's GitHub demo account. So you have to add your description or comment. So this is a simple change. So I'm not adding anything. So if you're contributing to some major projects, so they will have their own pull request template. So you should work according with that, and you should update the changes on that particular template and reply back. So now I have added a fourth line to that particular README file. So when I click create pull request, so you can see here from my Poobalan 1210 account news branch. So I should like to add all the changes from my new branch to FOSS CIT's master branch. So do you get this line? So I have pushed the changes to my new branch, and I created a pull request from my branch to add the changes that are added in the new branch to the master branch of FOSS CIT's repo or the particular project. So there will be many. So if you're contributing to a project, so when you create a pull request, so there will be many tests will be undergone to check your pull request. So once all the test passes, and if the maintainer is okay with your changes, so he will merge the pull request. So you can see here, like what are the commits you have done here. So I have done only one commit. That's by saying I have added at the fourth line. So you can also see what are the changes you have done in that particular commit. See, you have added a new line called I have created a branch and made the changes here. So you can check who made that particular change in which line at which time. So everything you can track by using Git and Github. So when more people are working on that particular project, so this will be more helpful in that particular time. So you can check here. I have added a new line and I have added a statement called I have created a pull request. So these are the changes here. So as I'm a maintainer of that particular project, so if I'm okay with this particular line added here, so now I can merge the particular pull request to the FOSS CIT's master branch. So once this test passes, so the test, it depends on the project maintainers. So they will set the test for your pull request. So once when I give the button merge pull, so when I select or click merge pull request, so the changes what you have made in the new branch, so will reflect on the FOSS CIT's master branch. So I'll show you, just give some time. So the test has been passed. So as I'm a maintainer of the particular project, so I am just merging his pull request. So now the pull request is merged, and the changes from the new branches will be reflected in the master's branch. So that is main branch. So now you can see here, before it was only present edited from another branch. So now what it replaces here is I have created a new branch and made the changes there. So where it is displaying is FOSS CIT's Git and GitHub demo branch. So this is how the workflow will be present when you are working on a project, on some open source projects. So these are some basic steps you will follow while contributing to a particular project using Git and GitHub. So there are some more commands present here, but I don't want to stuff all that particular things on you today. So I will address two more commands to you. So you can see here, a pull request is merged from Poobalan 1210's new branch. With the last commit as I have added the fourth line. And proceed forward. So I like to tell two new commands called as git reset and git stash. So you have done a commit, so but you're not okay with the commit, you should add some more changes to that particular commit. So what you can do is you can, so wait, I'll try git log. So in that git log, you can see who are all contributed to that particular project, on what changes have been done there. So you can see Poobalan, I have merged a pull request here, edited readme file, I have added the 4th line. So I just need to undo this commit. So what I can do is, so every commit will have a unique commit ID. So you can copy this ID from here. And there is a keyword called git reset. And when you paste this commit ID, so the commit will be resetted and the changes will not be, so the snapshot will be reversed. So that is the correct way of saying that. So the changes will not be present there. So again, you can add your files, then you can commit. So this is one command, git reset. So another one is called as git stash. So wait, I will just show you really. So now I'm opening the readme file. So the 4th line is have been added. So I'm adding the 5th line. So I have added a new line called I'm adding a 5th line. So I'm saving this change. So when you check the status of this, so there is a modified in the readme file. So now what I'm doing is I'm just git add dot git commit added 5th line. So the commit has been pushed. So there will be no modified changes that will be present on the working tree. So now I should reset this particular commit. So what I can do is, so just I can get git log. So you can see here the last commit. So name, so with a message called added 5th. So I will copy this commit ID here. So copy it. So now you should get git reset, paste the commit ID here. And when you click here, so before doing this, when we check the status of the git, so it says that there is nothing to commit, the working tree is fine. So now when we check the status of the git, just give me some. So these are some other 2 comments I thought of saying to you. So I will give a proper demo for that. So I will share it in the group. So that's all about getting started with. So there are some more advanced Git commands. So for starting, I think this will suffice for you. So if anyone have any doubts, you can ask me then.